I think that it depends. There can be, I spent quite a bit of my own healing journey in the beginning and in a very solitary state, not really speaking or communicating with anybody. And then slowly, I started to connect or have people added into my environment, and my healing process became less solitary. But I have spent a lot of my process of growing in my spiritual ascension and everything else. I've spent it largely to myself, especially, let me think. Over the past, I would say 4 years, I've spent more time to myself than around anybody or even communicating or talking to anyone. I spent a large amount of that time to myself, just healing and balancing out my energy. So I don't think it has to be solitaire. I think that there could be, it just depends on what your soul may need from you. And I think it's about learning to listen to your soul and what it wants at that time, and also just kind of like following the journey, because some of me connecting with people in my spiritual ascension process as I was healing and balancing my energy, it just came about naturally. It wasn't me seeking it out or me trying to force connection in any way. It came about because it was necessary, and the necessariness of it was also spirit saying it's time for you to be more engaged and connect more and begin to integrate back into connecting with people or back into society more so. So I think it depends on what is meant for you on your journey. Maybe that's not the truth for everybody's journey, but I do think at the end of the day, all of us may be meant to spend some time in solitude, in a solitude. I say it with quotation marks because, your creator is always with you. And so are your spirit guides, so are your ancestors, so are all the energies that are there that are meant to assist you. However, um, it can be hard to feel and understand and know that when you have so many physical things around, whether it be people or literally physical things. And I think a lot of times that solitude could be necessary to help us to hear our creator more clearly, so that it's not, so that there's not so many other voices in the picture when you are connecting with source. And the same thing can be said for connecting with your guides as well. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think I don't think that there is no understanding of solitude that's necessary for you to do your healing, but it doesn't necessarily all have to be done in solitude. It's all about balance, because every anything can become an addiction, or too much. My journey of being in hermit mode was easy. It wasn't always, well, it was always easy. A little bit, because I've always been somebody who was more closed or able to be more to myself. That's somebody I've been really my whole life. But there were parts of the journey where certain emotional things that I was dealing with were tough. And it would have been, easier or nice to escape or with a distraction of somebody else being in my environment. And I couldn't because, I had really kind of like blocked everybody out in a sense for the most part. And so, and there were hard moments in that understanding. But overall, after dealing with some of those things, hermit mode or being in hermit mode was comfortable. It was easy. And again, for me, it had always been kind of easy, just being lost in my own world. And so that became, something that I needed to break out of, you know, because again, it is about balance. Just as there is a time for solitude, there is a time for connection. And I felt my soul or spirit pulling me to step back into connection because I had been in solitude enough. So I think that there is a balanced understanding of that, and it's all dependent on what your journey is for you. Everybody's journey is different. Maybe for you, the understanding of solitude is not for weeks or months at a time. Maybe it's just a day. Maybe it's just a few hours, whatever the case may be. But I do think that our Creator does desire to have its time alone with us and to help us heal and grow and so that it can give us understandings of how it wants us to move and what it has planned for us. Hey, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have a question you would like to ask or would like the opportunity to receive a one-on-one session, please check out the links in this video's description to sign up for a free session or submit a question.